Hi, I'm Steve Minnick, the host of SmartWealth Radio. I'm going to read a little bit from the first chapter and introduction to my book, Brick House Savings, Your Guide to the 7 Smart Wealth Saving Strategies. This is a book how you can discover the secrets of how you can have secure and predictable retirement income that you can't outlive. Here's our introduction. Did you enjoy your vacation this past summer? Here in America, people typically take 2 to 4 weeks off of work to relax. We all need to get away from the challenges and rewards of our regular work. So, how much time did you spend planning your vacation? Back before the internet, we often delegated this planning to a travel agent. Here was someone who had lots of creative ideas and suggestions, colorful brochures and posters, and often discounts and group rates. The weird thing is, we didn't have to pay this agent anything. Strange, huh? This wonderful and helpful advisor got paid by the company that you chose to work with. You know, the cruise ship, the airline, the hotel, or the booking service that lumped all of those individual travelers into small groups. We even got a great discount for following the travel agent's advice. Pretty cool, huh? Back before the 1974 ERISA laws were passed, private businesses had professional pension managers. Employees knew from day one what their defined benefit, in other words, read monthly retirement check, would be. But then the federal government, in all its inimitable wisdom and magnanimity, passed the Employee Retirement Income Security Act of 1974, or commonly called the ERISA Act. ERISA. This law sets minimum standards for pension plans in private industry. Basically, it established the precedent for the 401k and IRA plans that we now have. So now, instead of having a highly trained and qualified pension manager watching out for your best interests, you had to go it alone. Good luck with that. How many of us spent only a few minutes of lunch with our coworkers deciding what sub-accounts, investments, etc. we would use to give us the best growth over the next 40 years? Really? So how's that work for you? Probably not so good. Instead of having a predictable future retirement pension income, we're now required to go it alone and just do the best that we can at amassing a big pile of money that would pay us some unknown interest rate, which was supposed to take care of us all of our retirement needs. Right. Well, not so much. Here's the big thing that you need to realize. Instead of using defined benefit plans, many of which were provided by AA and AAA rated legal reserve life insurance companies, we were left to fend for ourselves with defined contribution plans. These so-called qualified plans were the best thing that ever happened to Wall Street. Yeah, sorry. You thought I was going to say employees. Bummer. Nope. Once again, the hardworking individual investor was dumped on by the big boys in the pinstripe suits on Wall Street and in the corporate offices of the investment banking world. Oops. Am I making it too obvious that I don't have much respect for our government, Wall Street, and the Federal Reserve banking system? Politics as usual. Crony capitalism and the greed and corruption found in many of our financial institutions has ruined many plans for a secure retirement. Together, we can write a new chapter in our nation's history. Conversely, if we the people allow these policies to continue, we could eventually lose our country and its freedoms. So here's Chapter 1, The 3 Little Pigs, better known as the twisted tale of 3 pigs. Once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs. The youngest pig wanted to make his fortune in the stock market. His straw house investment strategy went up quick, but it also came down quick. He liked the excitement of seeing his fortunes bouncing and rebounding. He had the stomach for it. The middle pig wanted to make his fortune in the real estate market. His stick-built house investment strategy also went up quick. It was a bit stronger than his brother's straw house, but it too became shaky. The wise older brother built a house of bricks. His idea was to make predictable growth on smaller investments over a long, long time. The wise older brother's house was big and strong. The older brother pig continued making wise, long-term investments and eventually had a predictable future retirement income. When their straw and stick houses fell down, the younger pigs decided to build a house that looked a lot like their older brother's house. Unfortunately, they used a very poor grade of building materials. Even though their brick house looked almost exactly like the wise older brother's home, they knew it wouldn't last. But they thought, why spend so much money building with such expensive materials? We want to make a lot of money, and quick. The middle pig brother went into politics. He sold government and municipal bonds from the main floor of his cheap brick house. He passed all kinds of laws to help the poor and middle class and raise taxes on the rich. The youngest pig brother moved in with his next older brother in the cheap brick house. These two younger brothers were very close. Youngest pig brother got into banking. While middle pig sold bonds, youngest pig sold CDs and money market accounts. Both of these younger brothers wanted to make as much money as possible, so they didn't pay their customers very much interest at all. They charged really high fees. Youngest pig brother was so eager to make more money, he even set up a printing press in the basement. His goal was to print as much money as he could and buy lots of stuff and resell it at a profit. What a great plan, he thought. So that was their retirement plan. The two younger brothers kept their straw and stick houses and continued to charge high fees for helping their clients. But they did most of their business out of the cheap brick house they had built to look a lot like the wise older pig's wonderful, strong brick house. And so the three brother pigs lived happily until the big bad wolf came in 2001 and then again in 2008. The wise oldest pig's strong brick house stood the test of these terrible, awful huffing and puffing and blowing, but the straw and stick houses, sadly, came tumbling down. Since the two younger pigs had political and financial power, and because they were, after all, living in the same cheap brick house, they decided to help each other. Youngest brother printed even more money. Billions each month were pumped into the economy. He used all of this extra money to buy his politician brother's bonds. Now the politically powerful middle pig brother could say that he was paying off all his loans. This scheme worked like a magic charm. Well, at least it worked until all the customers finally figured out what was really going on. One of my favorite Austrian economists, Nelson Nash, has said, "If you know what's happening, you'll know what to do." And I encourage you to start learning what's going on so that you make better, wiser decisions. Thanks so much.